I mean, like going in when you start comedy, like that's the dream. You know, you think about the anyone who's watched the TV show Louie and they see like the comedians talking at the table, or even on Comedy Central, they had a few shows where they would show the big table, the table at the Comedy Cellar, where only comics are allowed and only the best comics show up there. It's like the dream was to be at that table, and now I am, and it's like, oh, that's it's crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, I had some other stuff I wanted to ask first, but this is perfect because I wanted to touch on this a little bit later. I mean, you're in the one of the biggest hubs for comedy, and you're already in the big clubs. You're already hitting all the great podcasts. I was listening to you on Robert Kelly's podcast.
Oh, nice.
And you're running with the best of the best. You've been killing it. And is it who makes fun of you the most? Is it hard, like when you're at that table? Is it like do you get into that side of things with everyone? Do you like that aspect of being a comedian?
I love it, and I think I get away with a lot because I think a lot of the comics are afraid to make fun of me. I'm pretty sure they're like, oh god, this is going to be transphobic, I better not say it. So you can see them start to say something and then immediately like, ooh, and pull it back. So it's the greatest. So I get off scot-free.
Do you secretly want to hear it though when they do that?
I mean, no matter what they say, I'm going to act like I'm offended and that I'm going to try and cancel them, no matter what. And which is I absolutely love. Like, I don't think there's anyone at the Cellar I don't enjoy talking to. It's amazing how, like, when you get to a club like that, the egos are all gone. It's no longer this competitive, like catfighting. Like a lot of the smaller clubs, everyone's just trying to crawl over each other to get ahead. Here, everyone's just like, no, we've all made it. We're fine. We're all the same, and it's pretty refreshing. But no, I think the only ones like Voss is obviously still Rich Voss is obviously still a big. He'll still bust your balls a little bit. And Bobby, because I've known Bobby longer than anyone there. He still will a little bit, but it's great. Whenever he does it, it's hysterical.
Yeah, I mean, I like being made fun of personally. Like when it happens to me, I really enjoy it. Do you feel like in general you see a lot of comedians who are just totally fine with that, or are there people who you see are like amazing comics but have like thin skin?
Right. No, I wish I knew that. I would have just made fun of you this entire time. I would have. It would have saved me. I would have just done some more research.
You're doing research for me, Jade. I'm flattered.
Right. And another thing about Brad. He can't cook. His wife's cooking is so bad. No, I don't know. I don't really think at the Cellar there are a couple people. Yeah, there are a couple people who have are like, all right, that's enough. Can we talk about something else? And they're not a fan of the ball busting, but for the most part, no. Everyone's just like some people that show up, they like to just go sit at a table and write. Some people like to hang out with some of their friends instead of the table. Some like to just listen to music, but I think it's just like everyone's fine though. We all like. I don't think there's anyone that works there that I don't ever just say hi to every single time I see him.
Yeah.
Which is kind of it's nice. It really is like a second home.
Yeah.
Esty even asked for my picture to put on the wall with the rest of them, which is like. My mind was blown, to think that now I have my picture on the wall at the Cellar, like with the rest of these comics. I mean, Mitch Hedberg's picture's up there at the sign saying hi to Esty and Noam. Robin Williams' picture's up there. It's crazy.
Yeah, that's badass. Congratulations.
Thanks. Well, I mean, she hasn't done it yet, so
yeah. But just the artifact that you're past. Is it so? Do you work anywhere else regularly or mainly there?
Right. Also, the picture might end up in the restroom. Who knows? So, pretty much that's it. When I first moved to Albany, I think it was like I wasn't getting booked at any of the clubs for a while, and at that point I was like 6 years in or something, or 7 years in, and I expected more. And I wasn't really getting anything, so I started booking my own show, and then eventually, I think it was late 2018. I auditioned at Broadway and was passed there, and that was like the first club in New York to pass me. And then it was almost a fluke that I got into the Cellar. I did Noam's podcast. podcast called Live at the Cellar, or Live at the Table, like something Live at the Table, I think, something
Yeah.
like that. But they talk about just Comedy Cellar stuff. And he invited me on as a guest. So then he said, "Hey, maybe you should send me a tape." I don't know, maybe not. We'll see. And so I was like, I was too scared to say anything. So I didn't send him anything. I did nothing. I just like, it's okay. Another time. So then 6 months later, he asked me onto the podcast again, and we had a great time. He said, "I thought you were going to send me a tape." So I did. He liked it, and I was passed. So it was odd that the way it worked out with all the clubs in New York, the only ones that I was passed out were Broadway Comedy Club, which, not one of the best at all. It probably isn't even top five. And the Cellar, which is by far the best. So it was very weird. But now it's gotten to a point where, because of that, I don't really need the other clubs. They were
Yeah.
good to me. They've been great to me. As far as I'm concerned, I'll give them my availabilities, and anyone else who wants to book me, if I can fit it around, I will. But if not, sorry.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it's nice. Like you said, you have like a home almost, and it's like you have the place to work on what you want, and then when you want to book more, I'm sure you'd rather hit the road or something.
Right. I
So,
mean, I still feel pressure to like I don't really do a lot of new stuff. Maybe I'll throw one or two new jokes in, and sometimes, but it's still one of those places where the pressure to be on your A game is still there.
oh yeah,
So, but so there will be little other rooms if I do other rooms. I'm basically trying new stuff anyway, so I do need those, but not as much as I used to.
yeah. I would think you put the pressure on yourself when you have the same room to use, because I feel like that's almost like your dojo. Like you have your, it's the perfect place to practice because you can't repeat as much, and you have to
Right.
like stay on your toes, and the same people are watching you.